A few months ago, I fell down a rabbit hole. It started with one question I couldn't shake. If billionaires and broke people both have 24 hours, where does the real gap happen? Everyone said the morning. Wake up at 5 a.m., cold shower, meditate. I tried it. It felt like a performance, like I was cosplaying success. So I went deeper. I started reading biographies, long-form interviews, behavioral research, and I kept finding the same thing buried in the footnotes, the part no one puts in the thumbnail. The gap doesn't start at 5 a.m. It starts the night before. And what happens in that quiet hour before sleep, what they actually do, what they actually think about, it's so different from what you've been told that when I found it, I sat back and just thought about all the nights I had wasted. I don't want you to waste another one. So let me show you exactly what I found. Imagine two people, same age, same city, same alarm set for tomorrow. One of them is lying in bed scrolling through their phone, half watching something, half anxious about tomorrow, brain buzzing with nothing important. The other one is doing something that looks almost identical from the outside. They're also quiet, also in bed, also in the dark. But what's happening inside their mind is completely different. One of them is going to wake up reactive, foggy, already behind. The other one is going to wake up like a loaded gun. The difference isn't discipline, it's not talent, it's not money. It's 5 specific things they do before they close their eyes. Let's go through each one. The first thing is something I call the Decompress Audit. Not journaling, not gratitude lists, something sharper. Warren Buffett, a man worth over $100 billion, has talked about how he ends every single day the same way. He sits quietly and asks himself one question. Did I think clearly today? Not, did I work hard? Not, did I hit my goals? Did I think clearly? Because Buffett understands something most people never learn. Your results are just a delayed reflection of your thinking. Fix the thinking, the results follow automatically. Oprah does something almost identical. She calls it checking whether her intentions matched her actions that day. And here's why this works, not just as a philosophy, but neurologically. A Harvard study found that people who spent just 15 minutes in end-of-day reflection outperformed everyone else by 23% over time. Not because they worked more, because they learned more from the same hours everyone else just lived through and forgot. Your day is data. The Decompress Audit is how you actually read it. The next one sounds completely wrong when you first hear it. Billionaires intentionally starve their brain at night. Not from information, from stimulation. Here's the thing nobody tells you about your phone before bed. It's not just the blue light, it's the dopamine loop. Every scroll, every like, every notification, your brain gets a tiny hit, and those hits stacked up over an hour before sleep don't just affect your sleep quality, they crowd out your best thinking. Bill Gates reads every night before bed, but here's the detail that matters. He reads fiction, history, science, things with no urgency, no action item, no pressure attached, because his brain needs unstructured input. It's the mental equivalent of stretching after a workout. Jeff Bezos guards his pre-sleep time like a vault. No difficult decisions after a certain hour, no confrontational calls. He has said publicly that protecting his sleep is one of his highest leverage decisions as a leader. And Elon Musk, despite the chaos of his public life, has described moments right before sleep as when his best problem-solving happens, not because he's trying, because he stopped trying. Neuroscientists call this the default mode network. It only switches on when you stop forcing your brain to perform. Your best ideas aren't hiding. They're just waiting for you to get out of the way. Let me tell you something that changed how I sleep. I used to lie in bed and feel this low hum of anxiety. Nothing specific, just things I hadn't done, things I might forget, conversations I needed to have. Turns out, that feeling has a name. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, your brain's inability to let go of unfinished tasks. Your mind literally stays activated around incomplete things, like browser tabs that never close. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, self-made billionaire, does one simple thing before bed. She writes down her 3 non-negotiables for the next day, not in the morning, at night. And the moment she writes them down, something shifts. Her brain gets a signal. This is handled. You can let go now. It's not a productivity trick, it's neuroscience. The act of writing closes the loop. The tab shuts, the hum stops. 3 things, written down, that's it. I started doing this, and within a week, my sleep changed. The difference was immediate. Here's one that surprised me the most in my research. Every single high performer I studied, without exception, made some form of human connection before going to sleep. Not a long conversation, not a deep talk, something small and real. Warren Buffett is famous for calling old friends, short calls, genuine ones, just checking in. Bezos has spoken openly about protecting his marriage, not as a romantic idea, but as a strategic foundation. He has said the quality of his thinking at work is directly connected to the quality of his life at home. Mark Cuban puts his phone away and sits with his kids, fully present, no half attention. And here's the hard science behind it. When you go to sleep with unresolved tension or just emotional disconnection, your cortisol stays elevated through the night. Shallow sleep, fragmented recovery, compromised next day. 1 real moment of human connection before bed lowers cortisol, signals safety to your nervous system, and sets the stage for deep, restorative sleep. 5 minutes, 1 person, fully present. That's the investment. Now, I want to say something that might push back against everything you've absorbed from hustle culture. Sleep is not recovery. Sleep is performance. Jeff Bezos sleeps 8 hours, deliberately, protectively. He said it straight, I am a better decision maker, a better husband, and more energetic when I get my sleep. Ariana Huffington built an empire after collapsing from exhaustion, hitting her desk and breaking her cheekbone. That was her wake-up call. She then wrote a book on sleep, launched a wellness company, and rebuilt her entire life around rest. LeBron James sleeps up to 12 hours. His body is his business, and sleep is his highest leverage maintenance. The myth that successful people sleep less, it's survivorship bias. You hear about the one person who claimed to sleep 4 hours. You don't hear about the thousands who burned out, made terrible decisions, and quietly failed, all while running on empty. Matthew Walker, one of the world's leading sleep scientists, has said this plainly. There is no major organ in your body and no major process in your brain that isn't optimized by sleep and damaged by its loss. Billionaires don't sleep less, they sleep better, because they spend the hour before bed earning great sleep. Remember those 2 people I described at the beginning? Same age, same city, same alarm. The difference isn't visible from the outside. It's in the audit they ran on their own thinking, the screen they didn't reach for, the 3 things they wrote down, the 5 minutes they gave to someone they love, the sleep they actually earned. None of this is complicated, none of this costs money, but here's the thing about simple things. They're only easy once you decide they matter. Tonight, you have a choice about how it ends, and tomorrow morning starts right there. If this gave you something real, share it with one person who needs it, and just know, what they do in the morning, that's a whole other rabbit hole.